To believe that you are the body and the mind alone is a misconception. A misconception that most people believe, I guess. And it's the very belief that gives birth to a tremendous amount of suffering. Because it's not true. And we can dive into this to recognize why it's not true. But before we dive into this, I want you to assume that everything I'm talking about is a whole load of untruth. And so to really figure out if what I'm saying is true is to verify it for yourself within your own experience or within your own recognition. So verify everything that I'm trying to say for yourself. So you are not the body. Now we'll start and look at this in a very simple way. If I bring any object, for an example, this camera lens cap, it protects the camera lens. If you ask yourself, am I this camera lens? Then most likely and immediately you'll say no, this isn't me. And the same with this mouse. Am I the mouse? No. Now this is clearly an object that feels is separate and doesn't come with me everywhere I go, to some extent. When something happens to this mouse, it's scratched or broken, I may not feel physical pain. However, if I hold this mouse in very high regard, and I believe in it very deeply, and it's a part of my ideology, my identity, it's a part of my core beliefs. If someone comes and so as little as touches this mouse or scratches it or breaks it, I may actually feel physical pain at this point, because there has now been a very high level of identification, a tremendous amount of identification with this mouse. And even though I'm using this mouse as an example, this can be applied to a lot of things. Now, the mouse can be something that can be identified with because it's an object. And any object can be identified with and held in a high level of importance and high regard within your core belief systems. And so the reality you see is somehow shaped and warped and in relation to this mouse. Everything in reality that you see comes back to your belief in this mouse. And you can also see how that has an impact on your perception and reality. But we said it works, the identification with the mouse works because it's an object. And so what is an object? An object is essentially anything within space that can be isolated, it can be carried, it can be observed, and has a clear boundary around it. And so what else is really an object? The body. The body is an object. What else is an object? Thoughts. Thoughts are objects because a thought or an idea appears within space, has a clear-cut boundary, and so really a thought and this mouse or any other object is no different. However, when we are looking at the realm of thoughts and the realm of beliefs and the realm of ideas and the realm of memories, these are all objects. It's just that some of them are given a high level of importance. or some of them are given a high level of disregard even. Some of them are given a very high level of resistance, which is no different to giving them importance, by the way. So if there's a particular memory, you give it a high level of resistance. It's really the reason why that memory keeps coming up, because it's no different to it giving a high level of importance, and so it keeps coming up. So this is how the identification process works. And so when identified with the body, the very common misconception is that you are the body. This is what is now believed, that you are the body. However, the body is in constant change. At some point, the body was a certain size, a certain weight, a certain shape, and then over the years, that might change. So, in reality, how could you be the body if there is that constant change? How could one believe that they are the body when the body today, when observed, is not the same body of how it was yesterday or years ago? And so you can immediately see that there's some level of inconsistency here. So at which part am I the body? And when it changes, am I still that? Can I be something that is in constant motion, that is constantly changing? So when you look at food, for an example, an apple or a banana, when you look at this banana, you don't say that you are the banana. However, when you eat the banana, all of a sudden, it becomes the body. So now you are the banana. And you can see that there's an inconsistency here, a level of contradiction. So it doesn't make sense to say that you are the body. What we typically say is that I have a body. We say my body. So when you say my body, it means that it's yours, but it doesn't mean that it's you. And the same goes with the eyes, the ears, all these sense perceptions. They are yours, but they are not you. And it's very vital to make this distinguishment, because it changes a lot of things in the way the body or even reality is viewed. It can be yours, but it cannot be you. And the same goes with the mind and its contents. You know the voice that you hear in the mind? Who is that? What is the voice? If you are that voice, and if you are your thoughts and beliefs and ideologies and all of the memories and all of the content of the mind that's been accumulated, just like how the physical body is an accumulation of food, right? If you believe that you are any of these accumulations, then who is the one that is in the recognition of these accumulations? Then who is the one listening to the mind? If you are the thoughts, who's the one listening to the thoughts? If you are your memories, who's the one observing these memories? So now, do you propose that you are two individuals? That you are two people? You can't be both. It's just not the way existence goes. It's not that generous for you to be multiple things at once. You may create the illusion and the misconception that you are, but no, that cannot be you. And so if you ask, who am I? Whatever even comes up cannot be you, because whatever comes up is observed. And whatever comes up, if you are that which comes up, whether it's an image of you, your degree, your memories, your family, your whatever comes up, if that is truly you, then who is it that is observing what is coming up when you ask yourself, who am I? So going back to the question, are you the body and mind? No. You can't be the body and mind because they are observed. If you were the body and the mind, then who's the one observing them, seeing them? And then you may wish to take this a step further and say, what is it that is observing? Who is it that is observing? At this point, you may hopefully have recognized that the questioner, who is it that is observing, is also not you. But the question perhaps gives you a direction to look at. It's like a signpost for you to observe the observer. And so the mind is perhaps a tool. The body is perhaps a vehicle and a tool. It's yours, but it's not you. And so this is meditation. To be meditative is to allow everything to just be. Whatever appears, we are allowing it to just be. And all that remains is stillness, emptiness, nothingness. There are so many labels, but these labels are of the mind. It's not the labels. The labels are pointing towards something. They are indicating something. But you are also not the labels. You are that which is observing the labels and recognizing the labels. And then there is that which is recognizing that labels are being recognized. And so rest in the recognition of the recognition. As you rest in the recognition of the recognition, whatever comes up, allow it to come up. It's still not you. You may now ask, okay, then where am I? Who am I? That's what we're here to do, to find out. Let's find out. Thank you so much for watching. This is Hassan from the Spiritual Walks, and we are all on a journey towards the truth.